Just looking at the game between Livonian and world rapid champion Vasil Ivanchuk, we have
let's,
even position.
Before that, let's go to Maurice in Leuven.
You know, a lot of classicists, purists prefer the classical game. They like the purity of it, the perfection of the moves, the artistry, and it's absolutely, can't blame them. Chess is all about making all those precise moves and playing masterpieces. But rapid chess proponents will say, but this is where the fun is. This is where anything could happen. Mistakes will get made, and you'll see wild swings of fortune. If you're a classicist, you don't want to hear about that. You want to see best moves, and then the rest of it happens. But a game like this is so absolutely entertaining. Anand, first, MVL played a bad opening. The way he handled himself was not accurate. Anand showed exactly what was wrong with it. Anand built up a winning position, could have won the game. Very straightforward fashion with this move, Rook G1, missed it. The game turns around and MVL starts fighting like an animal to get back in the game. So much so that Anand messes up and it's MVL's turn to find a win, which he also misses with all the pressure and all the complications. And now they're in a protracted struggle. It feels like I've gone through 3 or 4 lifetimes with these guys watching this one single game. It's just absolutely incredible. And now MVL in this position has played the move knight to F5. His king exposed in a way he doesn't want to, but at least it's material equality and there is no knockout punch for Anand. If he now plays a move like knight e4, since his knight is now under attack, MVL can play a check, king nice and snug, happy behind those pawns. And then this move knight to g7 and disconnecting these pieces and saying, get this rook out of here, let my queen in somehow. This is bad for black, obviously, because the king doesn't belong on this square, but it's not just some big punch that knocks him out. And with the clocks ticking down now, Anand at 5 minutes and 46 seconds, MVL at 8 minutes, he's got a fighter's chance. He's had worse positions in this game already a few times. Now, trying to fight back is MVL. Just an incredible struggle. Why people love watching rapids.
Thank you, Maurice. Entertaining indeed.
Yeah,
I mean, if that doesn't keep you on the edge of your seat, you're not a chess lover, because that is really an extraordinary game.
I'm catching flies on every move. I mean, it's unbelievable. My mouth is like, what just happened again? It's unreal what is happening in this game. But it looks like Anand is starting to get his grips on MVL. That exposed king is what it's all about. This king is just a little too exposed, too open. Anand played the move knight to c4 in this position. After knight f5, he played the move knight to c4. And MVL needed to play this maneuver knight to g7. Instead, he played knight to g3 instead, looking for his counterplay, and king a2, stopping this queen f1 idea. Now e4, pushing his passed pawn down the board while your king is in trouble. Anand said, wait a minute, I'm going to play rook back to h3, and hey, I have a queen h7 idea in the position. There's some tactics all over the place. Your king is being squeezed. And MVL said, no problem. Let me march my king up the board. I was like, what is happening in this game? Anand chased the king with queen to h7, and now king to f4, boldly marching down the board with this king. I can't believe this is going to work. But remember, MVL had this dead loss game against Kramnik in the tournament early. I think it was round 3, that he was simply dead in the water. The engines were up somewhere like plus 15. Aronian said that he predicted a draw in that game. He said, as long as MVL has some checks, whenever he has some checks, it's okay. He's not going to lose. I was like, that's ridiculous. But somehow MVL is like a cat landing on his feet. I can't imagine him surviving this one. Anand has now played the move queen c7, e5. You don't see kings look like this every day. Anand is obviously looking for the knockout punch. The only chance, it's 3 minutes and 30 seconds left on the clock for Anand. MVL with 4 minutes and 27 seconds in this absolutely ridiculous chess position for black, but somehow he's creating a wall with his pieces and daring Anand to find them. What can he do anyway? It looks busted, but he is fighting back. The Frenchman showing why he's one of the best defensive players in the world.
Thank you.
Remarkable game. Simply remarkable game.
Well, you know, there's not that much time on the clock, and you know, it is true that the computer says it's completely winning, but he's playing a human, and everyone. This is very surprising, and then Rishi has to sit down and work out
how he's supposed to reel in the entire point.
And the great thing as well is this e-pawn could be very,
it's a potential, right? I mean, that e-pawn is ready to trundle. and the e5 pawn, but it is absolutely confusing. MVL is very, very slippery. He's trying his best to make Anand work hard, and the position is tactical. The last move by Vichy, by the way, I really like very much. He just played the move rook h7, looking to play the move rook f7 check. And if the black king is forced to go to the g file, then we have an additional knight e3 check. I think this was the right move. It certainly felt like the human move.
Definitely,
computers will play this type of position that's so tactical, near perfect. But I tell you, with your clock ticking, with such an unusual configuration of pieces, it's really easy. Trust me, really easy for white to go wrong.
Yes.
Well, yeah, cardiac arrest, definitely the case. I need a doctor in this building right now because what's happening is ridiculous. Anand had a winning blow with the move queen a7 to bring his queen back to the f2 square, but instead he played queen b6, creating a disconnect with this rook. So instead of just cold winning, this move suddenly brings MVL back in the game, queen to g8, hitting the rook and hitting the knight hanging on the c4 square. Trickery by the Frenchman here, and now the move queen to f2 with check was played, and the engine saying there's no problem now for black after king to g4. Okay, now it's saying black is winning in this position. Black is winning. I've got to update my board to get to the game position because it looks like black is suddenly up in exchange. Hello, let's get back to this one right here after we're here. Queen g8, queen f2 was played, king g4, rook g7, queen takes, knight e3, looking like that's good. I don't get it. After king back, suddenly everything is defended. And oh, if he takes here, there's a queen f7 check happening. So queen h2 check, king to g6, queen takes g3, rook g5, and suddenly the king's defended. Black is up in this position, queen h4, and black is the one who is winning this game right now. Anand has to be shaking his head in this position after queen h4. The king is still exposed. So you want to make a prediction? This one is nuts, but still somehow MVL has turned the game completely around and he is winning in this position. We'll see what happens. I need a doctor.
Thank you, Maurice.
Watch out for those flies. I tell you, it is a jaw-dropping experience.
Anand will be absolutely aghast at what's happened because...
Well, I mean, this is rapid chess at both its worst and best, but entertaining, absolutely, because what I figured that Anand missed was that his intended blow after queen f2 check was knight e3, and he forgot that queen f7 actually put the knight in an absolute pin. And look at the players go. They're in a blitz mode. We've got our live board up above us. On our right, we've got our analysis board on our left. Vichy looking for a perpetual check. It's not overwhelming for MVL, and Vichy's going to have to find some trickery to stay in the game. But we know those knights are treacherous, aren't they?
Where's the perpetua? I mean, I don't see it.
I don't see it either, but queen e8 check, king has to go to h4, knight goes to d5.
Oh, and we have some news that
development.
Kramnik has won his game on time against Bedouin, who's now on his 7th loss.
In as many games. Ouch. That really, really, really is painful. So it's all gone wrong. It's all gone wrong for Jobava. And we'll go to the end of that game, but I'm still keeping my eyes
we have to keep an eye
on this game between Vichy and MVL. What's the time situation?
Well, Vichy has 1 minute, just 1 minute 20 seconds, and
the king on g3 looks awfully safe.
It looks
now
safe,
it looks really safe.
I told you about that pawn on e. You said watch that pawn. And
yes, you did. And guess what? That pawn on e4 is indeed ready to march up the board. e3 onto queen d3.
Wow.
Okay.
The surprises keep coming. So
I hadn't expected that one, but it looks like it's pretty good as well, because queen takes c4 check will suddenly expose white's king, and if Vichy takes a moment to defend the pawn, it's not enough. Queen f6. Boy, do you want to make a prediction? Not me. Christian, any takers? What's the over and under here?
No, I definitely like what Black is doing, and he has more time on the clock. He has the advantage,
yes.
so I think he's going to convert this.
I
But
do
you
too.
never know.
But you never know. It's just been an amazing game. Okay, we have the situation. Black can't push his pawn now because the rook
Yes.
needs protection, and White is just fishing for some kinds of chances.
This
Queen
is the
C4
instinct
check.
kicking in just to buy yourself some time, but of course with the delay time,
There's no increment.
There's no increment, so
And MVL has given up.
he's given up.
An exchange because he's banking on the fact that in a queen and pawn ending, his pawns, being
Yes.
the quality pawns, will win the game for him.
And it's very important that he has the double pawns because he can cover his
Right.
king with the double pawns. I think this should be an easy conversion for Black, especially because of time situation as well. It's very, very difficult to defend this type of queen end games with a few seconds on the clock. So I don't see Vishy surviving this one.
Wow.
Wow, yes. Well, yeah,
You
at
can
least
take a
yes.
breath, right?
Well, there's a little trick here, actually. I was going to say, if Anand had played King D4, Queen C3 would have been a nice checkmate.
We got to show that for our viewers. Oh boy! Maybe on your board, Christian, because my computer just will not let me analyze.
Yes.
the
So what
position.
Jovi was saying in this
Yes.
position after Queen H3,
King
Black
D4 would have
doesn't
been
want to go to D4,
No.
which seems natural, but unfortunately after Queen C3, this is just simply game over. This
Right.
would have been Maurice's heart attack.
Yes. Okay, but bring us up to date with the current position. MVL has marched his king all the way towards White's king, which,
Yes.
in order to try to escape these perpetual checks.
And if
With a
Queen
check.
B1, I'm simply going to go King D2, and then I'm going to march my pawn E3, E2,
Right.
E1.
No
After
further
King
checks.
C2, I think he's still thinking. We have Queen F2 on the board, but right now Queen D2 could be played, and then the King finds a way to hide from the checks, and then E3, E2, E1 is just going to be played
We
on the
can
board.
see the city looking at the game.
If we have Queen D2 check, as you've recommended, Queen
Queen
C5
C5
check, King D1, Queen takes E5, Pawn moves forward to E3. I've seen so many studies where the guy promotes the pawn, and it's two queens versus one queen. But
Right.
there's actually a perpetual check that's inescapable. It's rather a remarkable study-like idea. This is not a study, but it does look like MVL will win one exciting game.
Definitely.
Oh my goodness. And we do have E2 on the board. At this exact moment, it looks like this is our position. King A2 was played by Vishy, and now Black needs to figure out how he's going to want to promote his pawn. Queen D4, backing up so that he will be able to play King D2.
Oh, isn't that a blunder? No,
Queen
there's-
F3, why?
I was thinking King up.
Oh,
King goes to-
A5.
But he's just
Useful little
waiting.
move that there are times that you could play A4, maybe bring your queen to B3
Right.
with a check to try to force a trade of queens. This looks, and by the way, practical. In practical chess, it's really, really hard to play this position
Yes.
for White. It's losing to begin with, but
Objectively losing and very easy to play.
And very
and
easy to play.
we're looking at King D2 now,
He has
threatening
to
the
go
queen.
Queen G2 to pin the pawn.
And now we always toss in a check because
Right.
it's just our instincts
And
to
then,
toss in a check. And if you play King to A2, let's toss in one more check. And now, do we press with A4, or we just simply move our king to a groovy square? Maybe D1.
Yeah.
Yeah, this looks
We
like
have
it's
to
going
go
to win
Queen F3.
to maintain that pin.
Right.
But
And then A4.
A4, White's actually running out of moves
Right.
here. Let's go to the webcam so we can see the players nervously with the times, 46 seconds. There's our shot as MVL has gotten in the move A4, and he's just played Queen E5. I think the easiest way to do it is maybe just to post up with the Queen E3. He has not played that. He's played king e3.
He's going on the king side because white has less squares with the queen to give the checks.
Oh, very.
That's crafty.
That's very smart.
Yes, indeed.
Queen d5,
Oh,
queen d1, game over.
Yeah.
Wow. Vishy is probably wondering, where did it all go wrong? Well, we know where it went wrong with rook g1, but he'll be smarting the outcome of this game. Christian, your thoughts on this incredible game?
I have to admit I wasn't paying that much attention because I was letting Maurice do the work, but the game was insane. And we've seen so many crazy games this round. We see Jobava game once again. He's on 7 losses out of 7 games possible. He is complete. He's a man down, and it's going to be very difficult to recover. Kramnik, I like the fact that he bounced back. He has a good chance of recovering. And Magnus Carlsen, solid as always. Wesley So, solid as always. This is going to be an intense finish to the rapid portion.
Definitely.
Amazing. And I just have to go to Leuven because Maurice was just, watching this unfold and just jaw-dropping game that was going on here. Do we have Maurice? Let's go to Maurice.